Hey, Perry Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast, owner of PutYourselfFirst.com. Welcome to this Decade for Change. And I'm going to talk to you today about those first anniversary dates. So, and I don't know if this is for everybody, but I'm going to tell you from my perspective of what it was like after I lost my wife in a car crash. And she was no longer with us, and even though she was with us in spirit, okay, but no longer physically with us. And as you're going through life, that first year and all the things that you realize that were things and duties that she did, but now you have to do, or nobody's going to do it, those sort of things. So let me talk about those anniversary dates, birthdays, celebrations you attended, your anniversary, Christmases, holidays, you name it. So the first one, she passes away. Was killed in early December. The first one right away, obviously, is Christmas and New Year's, and it was, it just that was just a blurry type of holiday. So I really don't consider that a first, because that was just stingingly numb going through that sort of thing. But some holidays Terry and I celebrated, and other times, ones might be like Valentine's Day. We do little things, but we weren't big gift givers and stuff like that. But I have to say, when it came to like her birthday or her death day, or holidays like Christmas or Thanksgiving, or things that were special to us, even if it was events like going to Strawberry Fest, or some sort of festival. I think it's easy, and I know I've talked to a lot of people that have faced loss, that those anniversary dates can be really devastating, can be pretty tough to do it. For me, the dates themselves were not that hard, but I built it up in my mind to be hard, and I think that's what happens with a lot of people. Our brains and the way we think love drama. We love to create so many significant things. So as we're remembering and we're reflecting on what we've missed, what we've lost, and that date's approaching, things tend to get magnified. Let's take a birthday, for instance. The birthday's coming, and so literally I'll look at the calendar. It'll be like a week coming up in that first year, that she had passed away. And I would literally talk myself into, I am going to be so depressed. I'm going to be so bummed out. What am I going to do? My day's going to be awful. I'm going to be sobbing. I'm going to be, inconsolable. I shouldn't go to work. And, this is just going to be so awful. And as the days crept closer, it's like, oh man, I would be shopping for a gift now. And oh my gosh, this is so awful. And, I would really create this big, huge buildup. And the day would come, and I wouldn't be inconsolable. I wouldn't be out of control. I wouldn't be totally sobbing. I would acknowledge the day, and and say, happy birthday, Terry. We miss you. That sort of thing. Maybe some tears, but it was really interesting to discover, and that happened throughout the first year. I didn't really step back and reflect on these, at the time that they were happening, that a lot of this stuff we build up in our heads and in our minds, and we have control on what our reality can really look like, and we can change the state of our mind, our attitudes, of our maybe not the situation, but our perception of the situation. Just like that, we can really, really change it very, very quickly. Um, you take a look at a crying kid and give the kid a sucker or give the kid a toy, and the kid looks at it and bam, they're smiling and happy. The tears are still coming down, but they change their state instantly. We can do that. And so, but I didn't learn that for years later. But it was really, I just found it interesting that all of these little things, it would just be the buildup for each anniversary date that was the hardest to get through. It wasn't the date itself. It was the buildup and the BS going in my head of what it was going to be like, how awful it was going to be, and how depressing everything was going to be. When in reality, it didn't turn out that way. And, many of the days was able to turn around and just reflect and celebrate and have great memories and, and laugh and do things fun. And while that might seem like, oh my gosh, how can you do that? That's, like I said, this is me. I know it isn't that way for other people. I know people have lost somebody and they get to those anniversary dates and they just crumble. And, I think everybody just kind of deals with things differently. But for me in the anniversary dates, I was really surprised at how the dates themselves didn't sting nearly as much as the build up to the days and what was in my head. So whatever the lesson is there, maybe you can tell me. Maybe the lesson is, hey, we can change our state in an instant. And there's a lot of trainings and things that way, but really, you can, so you can kind of choose which way to feel and which way to go. Not only that, but many different things in life. So anyway, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.